always looking so upset. That's love, that's that. Nothing's ever good enough, not at all. What's that? Hey there, why you always looking so upset? That's love, that's that. Nothing's ever good enough, not at all. See you soon, turn up, have fun, I'm a front. I don't really think I vibe with any of you. Catch a ride, now I'm stuck, I'm a diamond in the rough. Always trying to bring me down, never stuck. It's no love, no smell to be found. You're toxic all of you round. I don't wanna rush this, I'll make a mountain around. You can don't wanna make you sound. And I told her I don't wanna stand you when I'm sober. RG pretty mulling over. Sober my life. How did I think you'd be a good time? Stuck around in the fire, saying you don't know me. Talk too much. You're my homie. Waited up. You're such a phony. Had enough, but that's just on me. That's my luck, but that's just on me. I've been on it. I'll be crazy not to start it. And I'd be lying if I said none of this goes to my head. Oh, what's that? Hey there, why you always looking so upset? That's love, that's that. Nothing's ever good enough, not at all. That's love. Hey there, why you always looking so upset? That's love, that's that. Nothing's ever good enough, not at all.
Whip up to Nudo.
Oh my god, Kid Season, you're crazy.
All of my diamonds to hit, I believe it. If you got money, then give me a feature. Stress on my body, I feel like a cheetah. Shawty, she want me, I don't wanna meet her. I get it back and I'm doing the most. I'm making hits and I feel like the GOAT. Now I got money, I'm making it toast. These bitches on me, they doing the most. I get it back and I'll do it again. Shawty, she on me, she telling her friends. You want a feature, then give me a band. I'm making money, I don't make amends. They keep on telling me I ain't gon' make it in music, but I'm gonna be who I am. I'm finna put on my team in a mission, they label they on me cause I'm a demand.
The Morning Fix live radio show will begin shortly. For your best news coverage and commentary, tune in daily at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on The Morning Fix. The Morning Fix live radio show will begin shortly. Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Fix live radio show. I'm your host, Macho. It is 10:05 Eastern Standard Time, October 28th, 2022. It is a cold, beautifully sunny 50 degrees here in New York City. The colder it is in New York, I swear it smells a lot better. every time. It's just I love the crispy smell of the mornings here in New York City when it's really, really cold. It's rejuvenating. It puts a jolt in, despite the fact that I'm really bitter about this city. It's good. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? How many degrees is it over there?
It's a warm 50.
A warm 50. Not bad.
Yeah,
That's
it
not bad. That's pretty tropical.
it's 50. It's warm.
So this is day 2 that we're streaming on Rumble. I'm excited.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing great. I'm excited for that. We got our Twitch up.
It's not sunny here though. It's raining.
It's raining?
Yeah, it's raining.
Yeah?
Yeah, so it's not
Okay.
sunny. That's why it's so warm, because it's raining.
A warm 30 degrees.
No, it's 50, I said.
I thought you said a warm 30. Okay.
No, 50.
It's a
it's
warm
hot.
50. It's
I
humid.
I need to change my shirt, actually. I'm a little
Yeah,
too hot.
you probably might want to do that not now.
No, I won't do it now.
Yeah. All right. So we have to say good morning to everyone. We have Kai. Good morning.
Good morning.
Kai. Good morning, Brian. How are you? We have
morning.
Mandy. Good morning, Mandy.
Good morning.
We have Christina. Good morning.
Good morning.
What else? We have Nanny. We have Katie. Oh, how did I miss Snowman? We have Snowman.
Good morning. Good morning.
We have Michael. Good morning. Ronnie. Everybody's here today. Wow. Y'all, none of y'all have a job, huh?
No,
We
I'm
have
working for
Lynn.
Derivatives.
Lynn is here. We have Eric. Welcome, everybody. Thank you
Yes,
for tuning
welcome.
in. Appreciate you guys. Really do appreciate you. And anybody who's watching us on Rumble that we can't see your text, we appreciate you too. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Rainy
we
is lurking. Rainy is lurking, apparently. Rainy is lurking. Good morning, Rainy. How are you? Hope you didn't drink too much last night. I wanted to start something off really funny today. Like I said, I wanted to get the wonderful montage, the video montage that Mandy graced us with. She made a nice little montage for us of all the Biden gaffes. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Let's just watch it and have a good time today, shall we?
Sure.
There it is.
Okay.
Also Kamala's birthday. She turned 30. And happy birthday to a great president. We know that's why I asked President Harris to travel to the region last August. President Harris and I stood in the United States Capitol.
They'd say Trump has lost it. They like to say that anyway, I guess. No, Sleepy Joe. No, but could you imagine if I said just a small fraction of the mistakes he makes, which are unbelievable? Every speech.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Just seeing him walk away. Where you going, bro? Where you going?
Mr. President.
The fact that she was trying to grab him, like, where's he going? Where's he going?
Mr. President.
But it's my intention to run again. And we have time to make that decision.
Dr. Biden is for it. Mr. President.
Dr. Biden thinks that,
Oh my God.
my wife thinks that I,
Oh my God.
that we're
Spit
doing
it out,
something
Joe.
very important.
Spit it out.
higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women.
End of quote. Repeat the line.
Going from in Florida down to Tampa of Putin's. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you have? An aneurysm there? What was that? What was going on there?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. Where you go, Joe? Where you going, buddy?
Mr. President,
Come on.
thank you.
You know the needs
Come on.
of innocent very to live
Oh,
to
look,
live
Natalie's on YouTube.
and not having the money to pay for it. Not a joke. Think about it. Think about what you'd think about. You're gonna
Think about what you. Isn't
Wow.
that good motivation? Like, honestly, for a Friday morning. Isn't that good motivation? Natalie, good morning. How are you?
I just remembered that I didn't take my medicine. Okay, go ahead.
What medicine? You need medicine?
make that all cement. You're gonna use that as basis to build on. Because you need security, you need stability for what you have on top, and you're going to build up stories beyond. I mean, this is incredible.
Where's he going?
This is the United States of America, for God's sake.
Come down here, sir.
Wait. Whoa. Hello.
I want to thank all of you here for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here?
Jackie.
Where's Jackie?
I'm sorry,
Oh,
Jackie
my
is
God.
6 feet in the grave. She's probably lost a lot of her flesh because she's dead.
I didn't think she was going to be here.
This is so hard to
By the
watch.
way, it's all his fault that we're spending $6 billion in taxpayer money this month to help fight HIV/AIDS. Here's the deal.
And it's
It's
still
all
going.
his fault.
Wait. It's still going.
Let me say this simply and clearly. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. You know how we talk about it. Are we the people? Folks. We gotta, it's just, but you gotta, I mean, we gotta reassure, look, here, my message to everybody I talk to is play the radio, make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone, make sure the kids hear words. I got hairy legs that turn, that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And
Did he say roaches?
I love kids jumping on my lap. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Oh, my God.
There's during World War II, where Roosevelt came up with a thing that was totally different than he called it the World War II. He had the War Production Board. Where we open up.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
They're playing Garfunkel.
$1.2 billion in overtime was denied for hourly workers who were
Not Garfunkel.
not unionized. $1.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who runs
This is
brings
great.
out the carts on a forklift.
What is happening?
I didn't watch beyond this point, but it's just getting better and better. I mean, the Garfunkel was a great touch, Mandy. It was awesome. That was great.
What happens? They make you management.
So would you like to say a couple words?
Am I supposed to speak now, or is Karen supposed to speak? I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's me. Okay. Well, there's that great philosopher, and he talked about Jill puts notes up on my mirror when she wants me to, where I shave, to get messages across to me. And what presidents say matter.
The former vice president suggests the black community lacks diversity of thought.
We choose truth over facts.
Biden complimented the town before incorrectly identifying.
What is he staring into, I wonder? Like,
Wait, he just said we choose truth over facts.
Yeah, but wait,
This is so hard to watch.
I'm just trying to say, just look at his eyes. Like, do you ever wonder, like, Where is he staring into?
No,
Like,
I just wonder how we got here and how people still think this man is doing a good job.
it was rigged. It was rigged. You can't watch this and not think that every time I hear Trump's voice in the background. It was rigged.
Which state he was speaking in.
Joe Biden forgot he was in a video live stream and abruptly walked off camera.
And I spent an hour and a half today on the telephone. I mean, on what we're doing right now on camera.
What are we doing right now, Joe?
A nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping.
Single word.
Mr. President, what's your message for Vladimir today following the annexation?
No.
Oh my God.
Yo, this is even worse seeing it like this because the way they were playing it on the news, the mainstream news, they actually had some saving grace to just show him holding hands with Gretchen and Jill was off the screen, right? They at least closed it in. But this looks worse. Look at Jill. Look at Dr. Jill Biden there while he's holding another woman's hands. Look at her. They're all happy. Look how happy he looks in his face. Look how lost he is. He looks at Jill like he looks at his mom. Like, hey mom, how are you? The woman that takes care of me at night. Oh, this gets better and better.
Man.
Where you going, Joe? Oh, where you going, Joe?
It would
Somebody get him.
be a shame if people shared this.
Joe, where you going, bud? Oh, it's your boy. It's Barack Hussein Obama.
Oh my God.
Where's he going? Uh-oh. He needs direction. Wait, where's he going? He pointed where you go, Joe. Where you going? The eagle is wandering. I repeat, the eagle is wandering.
Joe Biden. Joe Biden. I'm sick and I'm tired of Joe Biden.
For example, there's a situation where there's an estimation of somewhere between $700 billion and $1.3 billion.
Oh my God.
Yup. Uh-oh. And that's the end of it. And there was more apparently, Keisha. There's a lot more.
What just happened?
We just wasted 8 minutes of our life, but it was funny, right? Everybody liked it. How did everybody liked it? Right?
I'm more irritated now that we've watched this babbling buffoon.
Why are you irritated?
How? Anybody? I need that. I just need to play that on rotation. I need that to post to my account so I can say. So for all of you who think he's doing a great job, here you go.
He's doing an outstanding job, Keisha. Come
He's
on,
amazing.
we should be reverent to the position of the president. Okay.
Sure.
All right, how dare you be one of those people that
Sure. How dare I be one of those people? I am the people.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? How dare I be?
No.
I am
You
the people.
cannot be like that. And
I can be however I want. I am the people.
That. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
And
You can't be like
I
that.
want that. So when anyone says, "Why didn't you vote for Joe Biden?" I'm just gonna play it, and I'm gonna be like, "Nah, I just gave you 8 minutes of your life. You'll never get back, and you'll understand why."
You'll never have it back. But you can't be like that. You have to revere the position of
No,
the
I don't have to do
president.
anything.
Yes, you do.
No, I just have to stay
Remember?
black. No, I don't. I don't have to do anything.
You have to respect him.
No, I don't. He doesn't respect
not?
me. He doesn't respect me.
All right, so I got a question now. Let's do a quick
Sure.
pivot and shift. Okay. That's
Okay,
probably.
got
I
you.
swear that's gonna be the
Go
phrase of the
ahead,
year.
Mayor. Go ahead, Mayor. Pivot and shift.
It's about the omnipresence and it's the
Yes,
perception of crime. Okay,
yes,
it's how New
yes. Come on, Mayor
Yorkers
Adam.
feel. All right. Anyways, how do you feel about kids taking mandatory vaccines for COVID every year? How do you feel about it? Mandatory experimental drugs. Just throw it in your kid. Who cares? Whatever. Have a good time.
I'm gonna just say I'm thankful I don't have children that are school age.
But if you had grandkids right now,
Yes. Oh well, my nephew is school age, so he's in school.
is it a hard no for your grand or your nephew, or they have to just go with the flow?
No, it's a hard no.
But how if they have like the criteria is like, oh, if if you don't
Okay,
get this,
you
if you
don't
don't get
have
your kid
to.
vaccinated, and you're not going into the public school system,
You
it's
can
just
go into the public school system. There's just some ways of getting around it.
where you have to do like a religious exemption stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Well, I'm not. All I'm gonna say is this.
Okay,
Um, my nephew will not be getting the shot.
it's a hard no, is what you're saying.
Yeah. But if they need some documentation, we will be providing it.
And what kind of document is it? Like a doctor's note?
That's
Is it?
all I'm saying.
Oh, that's it. What
Mhm.
about like a cease and desist letter? You're gonna have one of those
If
coming?
they need some documentation, we'll be providing it.
But anyway, so the federal government is possibly down the pipeline, want to institute or is instituting a federal guideline for kids to
Good
be
morning, Heather.
vaccinated, guarantee vaccination. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. They got to get vaccinated, or else they can't go to school with the general pop. And maybe
Okay.
they might need. Oh, it looks like we have a new person in the group. I don't know if we've seen this person here.
What?
Carol, have you seen Carol here before?
No, but welcome.
Welcome to Carol. Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome onto the show. First timer.
Welcome.
Everyone gather around, give Carol a hug, a virtual hug. AJ's here, by the way. AJ is here.
Oh.
Okay. So say hello, Keisha. Say hello to AJ.
AJ. AJ. Hello, AJ. Good morning to my favorite person in the whole wide world, AJ Rant Room.
AJ's Rant Room.
Yes.
And also go to ajsrantroom.com for some merchandise. Anyways, so this just came out not too long ago where they're saying that the vaccine is safe. Are you buying it?
Okay.
It's safe. It's safe. They're saying. Let's listen to the professionals. We're not the professionals, okay? Let's listen to the professionals.
News from the FDA regarding booster shots for children. The FDA has just announced authorization for Moderna and Pfizer's updated COVID-19 booster shots for kids as young as 5 years old. Pfizer's booster now approved for children ages 5 to 11. Moderna for kids.
Mind you, this is an experimental drug, okay?
Ages 6 through 17. And meanwhile, the Biden administration is trying to get more people to get their booster shots. The CDC says just under 49% of Americans received their first booster shot. Nearly 38% of those 50
How
years
is it that low? I thought that there's like a majority of Americans got their first
Yeah,
booster.
they tapped out. They tapped out when people were
What do you
still getting
mean?
COVID. People were still getting sick.
Because they
It was
saw,
like,
right? This is not
yeah,
working.
this
Okay.
isn't working. I'm good.
All right.
older
All
have
right.
received both their first and second booster. Over the past 2 weeks, COVID cases have decreased around the country by more than 20%, but deaths have increased by 10%. Joining us now is Dr. Ashish Jha, the White House COVID-19 response coordinator. Doctor, it's always great seeing you. I always thank you for your time. But what do parents need to know about this new announcement from the FDA about updated boosters for young children?
Yeah, good morning and thanks for having me back. I have a 10-year-old at home, so this is personal as well. Here's what we know. We know that...
Is that make you feel assured, Keisha? He has a 10-year-old.
Okay, so I'm just gonna speak on this really quickly and my take on this. None of them have ever gotten the vaccine. They're all getting saline shots.
Saline shots?
None of them have that shit in their body.
But isn't
They're
that conspiracy? That's conspiracy.
I don't give a shit what it is. That's
Okay.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
You do?
Oh yes, I do. None of them have the
Can
vaccine.
you
None of
prove
them.
this? Can you prove this?
I wish I could.
Oh, so you're just going on speculation and you're saying
Yeah.
it with such confidence.
Yeah, because I believe that.
Oh, you believe it. Okay. All right. All right. That's
Well,
fair. Hey, Pamela.
anything I believe, I say with my whole entire chest. I believe
You say it
none
like
of
it's
them.
like with such conviction, like
Yeah,
it's
I
true.
say it like it's
Like it
fact.
is the truth. Yeah. Like you
Yeah,
just know
because I
I
believe
got
it is.
paperwork. You got the paperwork, is what you're saying.
I don't think not near one of these assholes, okay, got
Okay.
that vaccine, and
All
that's
right.
fact. And you know what? I would go as far as to say prove it.
Prove it.
Yeah.
Prove that what? How could they
That
prove that
what's
they got
in
the
there,
vaccine?
what's in there is the vaccine. Prove it.
Mm.
Prove it.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let's see.
Vaccines have made a tremendous impact on keeping kids healthy, out of the hospital. The new vaccine that just has been authorized by the FDA, Omicron specific, targets the virus that's circulating out there. We'll wait for a CDC recommendation, but after that, assuming that happens, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my 10-year-old the new updated COVID vaccine, and I'm going to encourage every parent I know to do the same.
He's getting his kid. He's getting his kid vaccinated.
He's lying. He's lying.
So
He's
you
lying.
just full on. What gives you the idea or the
lying.
what's giving you that conviction?
Okay, because they don't even know what it is, and there's no way they're going to give that poison to themselves or their family members. They're lying. It's all a lie to get you to do it because they're trying to exterminate you like a cockroach.
They want to exterminate us?
Yeah.
That's a bit extreme. Like people have gotten vaccinated, they're still here.
Barely hanging on by a thin
They're
thread.
here though. They're here.
But I don't think everyone got the vaccine either. Like I think that like not everyone has it.
So what do you think, that they just like random selection?
Yeah, like there's just certain ones that have it, certain ones that don't. No one really knows, and not everyone that says they're vaccinated is really
Wow,
vaccinated.
this is a bit extreme here from you, Keisha.
Oh, okay. If you
Like,
say
what's
so.
leading you to believe this? Like, where do you
We're
take
seeing it
this?
now. We're seeing it now, so we're starting to see the
Like
effect.
people
So, like
like
young
people
college
dropping dead.
students. Yeah, so we're
Like
starting to see it.
So Boston early on his radio show is talking about, hey, there's this kid, really good shape, runs every day, all of a sudden dropped dead, had a heart attack.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow. And he's like, I'm not at all saying, but you know, this never used to happen before.
And because if they did it too rapidly, it would be really obvious, right? So it has to be like a slow thing. So then it'll increase with it will increase like with each booster. So if you get a booster, it'll start to increase.
Who you laughing
We'll start
at?
to see more
You
people.
laughing at Kai?
No, at Brian. He says Keisha's PayPal just went negative $2,500.
They're coming for you now, Keisha. That's it. Big Brother's listening to you. You're too
I
extreme.
don't care. I'm not extreme. I'm just voicing my opinion. It's my opinion.
Well, let's see what
I'm
else we
entitled to
have,
it.
because we have a special guest. So let's see what else we got from Doctor here. Let's see.
So, Doctor, even as recent cases are trending down, earlier this week you mentioned that you were concerned about new variants. What concerns you?
Yeah, so look, with this virus continues to evolve, continues to change. We know COVID is not over, right? And we've got challenges ahead of us. We are tracking variants as they arise around the world. And we have seen several now that evade several of our treatments, that are very immune evasive. And we're going to track them closely. And if they end up here, and they are here in the United States, if they end up becoming dominant here, obviously we're going to have to manage that. But we're tracking them closely both across the world and in the United States to see what happens and how they affect our treatments, how they affect our vaccines.
So what about these new variants that
oh my God, I can't believe we're still talking about this.
But I'm just trying to understand, okay, why do they want, why the pressure to get the kids vaccinated?
Is it that you've been able to determine so far? I mean, you said that do the vaccines not work for them?
No, vaccines should work for them. Again, we're going to get some more data on that. All of the evidence so far says our vaccines will hold up fine. The new bivalent vaccine, all of these new subvariants are kind of outgrowths of BA2, BA5. Our vaccines are targeting BA5 directly, so I'm actually pretty confident on the vaccines. What I'm worried about, we have a drug called Evusheld, critically important for people who are immunocompromised. These variants seem to be resistant to Evusheld. We've got another drug, bebtelovimab. It's a really important monoclonal antibody. Several of the variants seem to now to be resistant to that. So this is really important.
I'm just curious, right? Because we've heard time and time again that the elderly are usually the ones that are of special focus, right? Because they have or immunodeficiencies and pretty much for everything. But
Correct.
they've worked down the line to get down to kids as 5 and young. And it's like they've already stated that the younger you
Sterilize
are,
them.
the more, the more stronger.
Sterilize them.
You think really you really think it's just that far, huh? That extreme.
Yeah, I do.
What if they just wanted to make money and they needed bodies to put the
It's a
damn thing
part of
in?
it. That's a part of it, but the other part
Okay.
is to erase some of us, and then to keep us from
But there's
reproducing,
not a lot of us here.
and
There's
then
not
to
a
keep
lot
us
of
from.
us in
Okay,
America.
well, you heard that psychopath say it himself. There's too many people on the earth.
You talking about Mr. Gates?
That
Oh,
guy.
you're not saying names, is what you're saying.
I mean, I don't want to point the fingers directly at any one person, but yes, that guy said it.
That guy said it. Okay.
He
All
did.
right. So let's get our special guest in. We got Logic and Liberty here with us. Hello. Good morning, Logic. How are we?
Good, how are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
So we are having you on in this portion of this conversation because I saw a video that you put up that you were not really a fan about this. Could you tell us why you're not a fan of children getting vaccinated this young? Do you take the same stance as Keisha?
There's no reason. Your kids, if they're healthy, are not at risk from COVID. More than
Uh-huh.
likely, they've been exposed to it already. You probably
Mhm.
didn't even know they had it. They were very likely asymptomatic. There's no proof that this prevents transmission, as much as the government sold us that lie for however
Okay.
long.
Okay.
There's no reason. I still don't have a reason. And I had thousands of comments on my video. The only reason was, well, to put an end to the pandemic, which I'm like, we still believe it's a possibility to put an end to this. You guys are so delusional at this point then.
It's like we're going around in circles here, right? And it just doesn't make any sense for some reason. And to what the things that you just listed, that it doesn't stop transmission, doesn't stop the ability to get sick, and quite frankly, it's not as effective to children anyways, right? But they're saying that it'll end the pandemic. Now let's explore that. The doctor just said, Logic, that COVID is here. It's not going anywhere. So, what is the purpose of this vaccine, and why are you so adamant in putting it in our children? What is your take on that?
It's money. I firmly believe it's money. It's big pharma. Also, like, the Democrats have committed so heavily to this stance that the vaccine is the end all be all. Because you never heard the CDC talk or FDA discuss healthy lifestyle choices, taking a vitamin D supplement, all of these other honest approaches that would truly help that don't relate to the vaccine. They never even spoke about it at all. And of course, to me, that leaves it to money. That's my belief, is that it's all about big pharma lining the pockets, and then also the Democrats can't go back now. They have to double down. But again, I don't see a reason for kids to get vaccinated. I still don't have a solid reason. And to mandate it for schools is absolute insanity.
Yeah, and you have kids yourself, and this would directly affect. Now, you said something about healthy lifestyle choices. Can you explain a little bit more about that? What lifestyle choices could help prevent this, or help us live with COVID, perhaps?
So we are one of the most obese nations in the world.
Damn
So
right.
obese folks tend to have a much harder time with COVID.
Mhm.
And again, it was never really focused on exercise. Let's try to lose some weight. Let's cut out some sugar so the inflammation in your body isn't as high. The fact that the CDC never issued an at-home protocol for as soon as you experience symptoms is unprecedented. It's absolutely mind-blowing that they didn't say, take this much vitamin C, this much vitamin D, say, take some melatonin, which can also assist with symptoms. They never even issued an at-home protocol. And yet we're supposed to believe that these government agencies have our health and our, best interests at heart. No, they've lost
You know,
so much faith from the American public.
That is a great point in terms of at-home protocol, because the at-home protocol that they did initiate had nothing to do with us and our bodies, but yet social distancing, seclusion, being secluded and being away from everyone, which I think substantiated that delusion. Seclusion and separation of others is what damps down that delusion, because you can now perpetuate things through fear and hey, like, remember, if you go out there, you can be carrying this virus, you could be asymptomatic, all the things that you were just listing. Now, in terms of like health choices, have you seen yourself, like, with people around you, that if they did take care of themselves, if they were getting sick, they would have better chances to fight off this disease?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And frontline doctors, thank goodness, I was able to, in late 2021, sorry, was able to get my hands on ivermectin through frontline doctors. It was not cheap because they were being so heavy regulated and just crushed by mainstream media and the government. But that horse paste, baby, that helped me. I was done with symptoms in about 3 days.
Wow.
But they also, what was nice is they were able to prescribe the ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine, but they would give you a protocol of those supplements. Like, hey, load up on, take this amount of vitamin C, this amount of vitamin D, and it was effective. And so I would pass that protocol around like wildfire because our government wasn't doing their job. They should have been doing that.
Right.
They weren't. CDC should have. They weren't. But I truly believe that could have helped prevent a lot of hospitalizations as well. If people were just conscious of that. And vitamin D deficiency is a huge issue. I think over 70% of Americans have a vitamin D deficiency, which is an integral part of our immune system, but we don't talk about it.
Especially us brown skinned people.
Yeah, vitamin D deficiency is all over. That's why a lot of nutritionists are recommending taking D3 with K2, not just supplement it just by itself, because you can actually just get rid of it very quickly. A lot of members in the healthcare in the health industry, not healthcare industry, but more like people who work out, people who lift weights, bodybuilders and such, did not have a lot of these issues because they already live in a world of supplementation. One of the things that they were recommending along with C and D was zinc.
Yep.
Which is a big part of helping people through, which I believe some of the first things I was reading about this, I was following this guy, Danny Vega, on Instagram. And he's a huge specialist in particularly to the carnivore diet. Are you familiar? So he studies this stuff, and the initial reports and prognosis that he was getting from some of the physicians over there before we stopped hearing from them was take high amounts of vitamin C, high amounts of zinc for like a 3 to 4 day period, and you should be able to get through and have some preventative measures for this respiratory illness. But the ivermectin and hydrochloroquine, what was that like taking that during were you sick? That's why you took it? Now, what was it like taking that, and why you said it was heavy regulated, right? But did they recommend against you taking it, or were they very like, oh yeah, go ahead, take this?
No, so I didn't go to the doctor.
Oh, okay.
I did an at-home test. I didn't go to the government drive-throughs. I didn't want to be on the radar, to be completely honest. So I was like, I'll do an at-home test. I'll take care of myself. And so I just went on frontline doctors. And I did that actually a few weeks before I got sick, just to have it on hand. And it was helpful. And again, ivermectin is an incredibly safe drug. We know that from decades of it being used. It's an incredible drug. But if you were to go to your doctor or your hospital, they were not prescribing it. In fact, they had protocols in, I think, almost all hospitals against it.
Yeah. And I think, and also because I think the government was already funding these agencies, like the big pharma, to create and manufacture. Like, it was unprecedented to see a push for a vaccine in 9 months. However, so much money had to go into that 9 months in that process, which put us in jeopardy, rendering us ultimately to not have a choice in the matter of not getting vaccinated. So a lot of jobs, a lot of companies, it's get vaxxed or else. And we're seeing a lot of reversals for people who didn't get vaccinated, who are now their jobs. The New York State Supreme Court, for instance, has just issued a reinstatement for employers or employees, excuse me, to go back to work and get back pay for the time they've been out. Some of them been out for 2 years. So they're going to get back pay for 2 years. Now, I see that you're really into fitness and you're also into farming, correct?
Yeah, so we have like a garden and some ducks.
Now, in terms of the fitness, what have you always been into fitness, or is it just COVID that pushed you into fitness?
So I have 2 kids under 5,
Okay.
and I work full time, couple jobs. I just want to feel my best. I want to have energy to go out and do everything that I want to do, to fight the good fight. And in order to do that, like I have to exercise. I feel so much better. It helps with depression, anxiety, my mindset, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, even if it's just like a 20-minute walk on the treadmill. And I think what's so sad is, it was trust the science, trust the science, trust the science. And faith in our government agencies right now is at an all-time low, which is completely understandable, because if a government truly had the people's best interest at hand, what they would do is they would say, okay, people might be hesitant to take this vaccine. So if you are, here's the other things you can do to really lower your risk or to be healthier. They have never once. We don't focus on nutrition and fitness in schools. They want to keep us sick. They want to keep us sick. There's no other conclusion that you can come to, because if they truly wanted our country to thrive and the people to be healthy and well, we would hear much more about that and have more money put towards resources for that. But we don't.
Yeah, we don't. Just keeping yourself healthy and underweight. It's the obesity that also is like the catalyst, or it literally exasperates the COVID symptoms. It's a respiratory illness. So if you're heavy, you have asthma, influenza, any of those breathing issues, or anything that directly affects it, guess what? That's going to accelerate it. And a lot of people who are obese also, were affected by that. I got one more question for you. And Keisha, if you have any, you just go ahead and throw that in there. You have one?
No,
No, she doesn't. Okay, she does. All right. So my last question for you, Logic, is that if they do mandate your children to get vaccinated in the schools, is that a hard no, or would you consider it?
It's an absolutely not in a million years. I will do everything I can to help empower parents to get involved in their states. People need to be asking their governor candidates where their stance is on mandating it for their schools. That's huge. Right now is the prime opportunity to make sure you elect folks who aren't going to mandate it in your state. Additionally, if it does get mandated, let's get parents homeschool resources. Let's literally hit the public school system where it hurts to show that parents do have rights, parents do have a say. And if you're going to completely negate, because only I think 33% of kids 5 to 11 are vaccinated against COVID. They're not the majority. They're not. And so if parents realize that and get out in their communities and get loud about it, it will make a change. It's sad because I feel like we're afraid. A lot of people are afraid of the cancel culture, the woke mob coming after him, speaking out. But the more of us who do it, the less powerful they are.
Yeah. No, that's really good. And once again, Logic, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was so
getting
much
us
fun.
nice and early. It's really early for you, so I really appreciate it.
Oh no, I've been up for almost 4 hours, so we're good.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Sorry.
Thank you, Logic. I appreciate
Well,
you.
thank you, and enjoy your weekend, Logic.
All right. See you guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Back in a moment. All right, we're back here on the Morning Fix Live radio show. Happy Friday to everyone out there. It is 10:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in New York City. I'm really excited to also announce that Elon Musk approval for buying Twitter went through.
Yes. He's
We
already
enjoy
firing
that.
people.
And he has fired the very man that has suspended the great Donald. Do
Yes.
you think the great Donald is coming back to Twitter?
I
Mean
doubt it.
tweets himself.
I doubt it, but he might just to prove a point. He might come back.
I
just
just
to be
want
like,
mean tweets back. Give me like, I'm back,
I'm back,
bitches.
bitches. Yes.
I
He might
want him
come
to
back.
say something like that. I want him to come
Yeah.
back and be like, I'm back, bitches. I want to thank Elon Musk for bringing me back here, you know?
We might see a Twitter, Truth Social, like some type of like come together.
Collab. A little
Mhm.
collabby.
We might. We'll see. We'll
I don't
see.
know. I think Elon just wants free speech to stay free speech, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I even believe that Jeff Bezos wants free speech to stay free speech. That's why he bought Washington Post. Look, despite the fact that he's more on the left, sure, but at the end of the day, they want free speech. Allow us to
Christina, who
have
made
this
a statement?
quorum. What
Trump's
statement?
coming back on Monday. Who made a statement?
He released a statement probably on vicariously. Who knows? Elon wants Twitter to turn into WeChat. What's WeChat? I've never heard of WeChat before.
Me neither.
That sounds strange. Anyways, by the way, aside from that good news, which I'm excited for, do you think that, first off, do you think this is a good buy? Yes or no? Just out of curiosity.
I don't see how it can hurt him. It's Elon Musk.
It's not a buy that he's doing it for himself, right? It's clearly
Yeah.
a selfless buy.
Trump released the statement.
Pelosi's husband was attacked in his home. Yes, he was. I saw that, and I mean, I don't really want to see. You have the thought process about the vaccines. I have the thought process about people in political realm getting attacked. I almost think it's staged sometimes. Not every one of them. Some of them, like the person who got shot up on the baseball field. I don't think that was staged. He actually got shot, right? I'm saying like the attempted, the little, whatever. Anyways, there was a canvasser for Marco Rubio, who got attacked, right, in Florida just not too long ago. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a bit too much to say, but it's just Nancy Pelosi and her husband is probably in some suspicious, insider trading, and then he gets arrested for DWI, and then now this. Why is he getting attacked? You know what I mean? Like, what's the purpose? Like, they don't really
I
know
don't
where the
know,
man lives.
but I'm looking forward to making my Twitter return.
What, you got banned from Twitter?
4 times.
Like, what did you say? Like, what extreme
I got
shit did you
device
say?
banned too, so I couldn't even make another account.
Like, what the hell did you say? Like, what would you say? What would you say?
Between Governor Inslee and Biden, I was banging on them like that was my job.
Did you say things like it was rigged?
No, but I would let them know, in other words, that they shouldn't be there and that they're cheaters and they've cheated their whole life and they don't know how to act. So 4 Twitter accounts, I was device banned from Twitter. In fact, the Twitter account I have now is my daughter's. I just took hers. I was like, give me the login. I need that. But now that Elon has taken over, I will be making a brand new Twitter account and I'm coming for their heads.
So you got really extreme on Twitter, is what you're saying.
Oh, man. In fact, some of the people that I know on TikTok right now came from a huge Twitter group that we had that we all collectively came together.
Like, were you a part of an extremist group on Twitter? Like, are you part of one of them?
Why are you using the word extremist? Like, that's real, like, out there. So first of all, no, I was not a part of an extremist
Are
group.
you like one of those like Proud Boys or?
No, I was not. But I was a part of a Black conservative group. There was probably about 150 of us. We're all still friends to this day.
An extremist group.
We're not extreme. We're Black and conservative. Okay, we're not extreme. We're just.
But
Black.
you were on the wrong side.
Black is extreme. Black is extreme.
You're on the wrong side.
I'm sorry. What side is that?
You're supposed to be on the side with the Democrats.
Says who?
The blacks are not supposed to be on the Republican side.
Are you excluding yourself, Negro?
The blacks. The blacks.
Oh, you are black. Must be weird.
So,
I think
so
sometimes you get
you,
confused when your skin
so
is light.
you
I
were a
think people
part. So
forget.
you were a part of this group, right?
Yeah.
And what were
Yeah.
you guys doing? Like, curious. Just what were you doing?
Oh,
Were you
we would just go
conspiring?
for it. And you know what the worst part is?
You
We
were
would like gang up.
conspiring. You were
We would gang
conspiring.
up on people, and so like if someone came into the comments of one of our groups, we would all unleash on that person. So I mean, our Twitter accounts, my last Twitter account when I got banned had like 65,000 followers.
You had 65,000 followers on Twitter.
On my last account, I had an account that had 100,000+ Twitter followers.
Like you
Gone.
just and you have all these thousands of followers on freaking TikTok. How does
It's not.
that happen?
It's not. What do you mean?
How does that happen? What do? You just do these little videos, or you just there making
You know what?
faces?
When I no, that's no, my TikTok didn't start that way. When my TikTok was I went from 0 to 100K in less than 4 months on TikTok.
So how do you do that? How do you do that?
Because I opened my mouth. Now, once I started aligning with other conservatives and running in certain groups, TikTok started coming for me. So then my account, like I started getting all my
But
videos
isn't
started
that a
coming
bit of
down.
victimization when you say that they're coming for you?
I
Like,
don't
aren't you
care.
being a
It
victim?
hasn't stopped me. It hasn't stopped me. So just my
Okay.
videos started coming down. Like I would go viral, overnight. So I'd have a video with 500,000 views, and then
Uh-huh.
boom, gone, out of here. See ya.
So why you didn't just stop? Like, why didn't you just say, okay, behave, let's not talk like this?
Why would I do that?
So
Like I don't
I'm just
even like I don't
curious.
even care. Like I don't even care. Like what are they gonna do? Take the account? Okay, no problem. I'll just
Well,
do
I'm
it
just
anyway.
curious. Like this group that you were a part of, did you guys conspire to do things in Washington? Did
No,
you
we
want to
didn't. No, like
destroy
we didn't.
property?
No, we never did that.
Did you want an autonomous zone? Did you want to take over a police precinct?
No, we never did
None of
that.
that. You didn't plan that. That's not stuff that you wanted to
That's
do.
that's liberal things. That's what they do. But yeah, I'm
What
telling you, I'm looking forward to my Twitter return. Y'all not gonna know. It's about to get on and popping.
Did you say things about like how we're gonna utilize the Second Amendment and stuff like that? Like
Well,
anything of that nature.
that's a given.
All right, so then you are talking about how you getting physically violent and want to do things.
Macho, listen, I've been physically violent my entire life. I came here violent. What are you talking about?
Why do you have to be violent?
I was born violent.
How
Okay?
about we be the Martin Luther King and be like turn the other
Ask my
cheek?
mother. Ask Christina. She'll tell you. She'll be like, no, she
Is
came here a
Christine
fighter. She came here
is,
ready to punch you in the face.
but is Christina violent?
Yes. And you know what's even funnier? She said that when I was little, they couldn't whip me or spank me, whatever the hell you want to call it, because I didn't care.
Oh, God bless you, Carol. She's taking the NYC subway. Oh God. Ugh.
Look, so they couldn't even discipline me because I didn't even care. I was so stubborn.
They couldn't. What do you mean? You weren't disciplined as a child?
No, I was. I would get a spanking, and I just would look at them like, was that supposed to hurt? Am I supposed to cry?
Oh, you're one of those.
I am.
Wow, you're just an unruly child.
Yeah. If I call my mom right now, she'll tell you all about it. She likes.
But I thought you didn't do anything. I thought you just stood by in the wind. You didn't want to get involved. It was your brother that did all the bad
No,
stuff.
no. Let's be clear. First of all, I'm the fighter. Okay. My
Okay.
brother would just go get his sister, and his sister would beat you up.
Oh, okay. You were the older brother, so to speak.
Yes.
I'm gonna get my older brother that is actually my sister.
Yeah, and he would tell you, "I'm going to go get my sister."
And you just beat on guys.
And
You
my,
just beat
yeah,
on
and my
boys.
brother will tell you. He goes, "The reason why he's the way he is today is because his sister taught him how to be about it. Like, yeah, let's get this. Let's make this happen.
Wow.
Go.
Wow.
Let's go."
That's dangerous. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm a very cautious person. There's people that get angry and they like to think through their anger, and that's how people die. That's what I think in my head. That's how people die. Is how you stay in control of
That
yourself.
chick in the subway. Oh yeah.
What chick
Yeah,
in the subway?
in a New York subway.
Speaking of followers, Macho, you unfollowed me. Yeah, I unfollowed a lot of people. I unfollowed a lot of people because I can't grow my channel if I'm following too many people that are
Yes.
in one specific genre, right? Is that
Yes.
the
He got
best way to
some
say it?
advice. He got some professional advice, so now he's taking it. So just like AJ's rant room, who unfollowed all of us too.
AJ doesn't follow me.
On which
And
account?
I don't know
On
what
the
account, but at the end of the day, we don't follow each other like that. So
Yeah, on the 1.0 he probably does, but on his backups he doesn't. He unfollowed all of us because we're losers, but it's cool.
well, the thing about it is that what it is from a business perspective, if you are following, you know how they say, "Oh, no echo chambers in a live." Well, that also exists with your following list. If your following list is a specific genre, guess what? It stays there. Are you answering the phone during a damn live? I know you not answering a phone. See, this is why you can't have people like this on your show, folks. This is just unbelievable. Totally unprofessional. Okay? This is unprofessional. This is a terrible listen, we're gonna Mandy, where are you? We're gonna have to rewrite this contract. This is just this is absurd. I'm writing a letter to HR. What is that about?
That's
That
my kid calling.
that
My
better
daughter
be the POTUS. That better be the president, Sleepy Joe. Uh-oh. Somebody's about to get beat.
fucking dog.
Well, Creed just wants a little attention. Just give him attention.
Dude, lay your ass down. He saw the look and lay down just like the kid. No, that was my daughter, and if she's calling me this early, I need to make sure everything is copacetic and good. So when my kids call, I answer.
Oh,
I
sure.
don't
I mean, they
I
can't
don't care
text.
where I'm at. I don't care what I'm doing. If my children call me,
Well,
I
put
will
in a
answer the
text
phone
message. Why do you gotta answer the phone?
because my daughter's calling me.
No, that's unacceptable.
So what if something's
She's a
going on?
grown woman. She's a
Okay,
grown
that
woman.
doesn't mean anything. My daughter's calling me. Something could be happening, and she is
That's what
obviously
text
calling me.
is.
No, no,
911
no,
text.
no. She's calling me for a reason. If she wanted to, she could have texted
Is
me
she all
because
right? Is she okay?
fine. If she wasn't, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. So I don't. How are you going to lecture me about how I'm
She's
parenting my
fine.
children?
She's fine then.
I know, but I don't know that till I answer.
I just get the
And I
feeling
told
like
her,
the helicopters were over.
and then
Were you
and
one
then
of
I
those?
said to her, "Yes, I'm still one of those." Yes, and she said, "I'm fine." I said, "Okay, I'm doing my podcast. I'll call you back." She said, "Okay."
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, you giving too much attention to that podcast and not attention to us, and not attention to
She
us."
will say that. She will say that
Well,
because
Andrea, you're a grown ass woman. You're
um,
doing just
pump
fine.
your
We're
brakes,
all
pump
proud
your
of
brakes,
you.
pump your brakes, pump your brakes, pump your brakes. Okay, pump your
There
brakes.
it
Okay. So moving on. Moving on. You damn right.
There goes. That's Mama Bear right there, guys. You see Mama Bear. She's not playing around. Look at her.
Now, when it comes to mine, I don't fucking give two fucks. I will shut it all down. Don't play with me when it comes to mine.
You'll burn it down. You'll burn it
I
all down.
absolutely will. Yes, without
No, you
pause.
gotta cut the cord.
Oh,
Cut
you
the
sound like
cord.
Victor right now. You sound just like my father.
Cut
The
the
cord is
cord.
cut, but guess what? There's one person on this
You
earth
ever
who
heard
will
that
give their
song?
entire life for them, and that is me, and that is
You ever
brother.
heard that song by the Killers? Are we human or are we dancers? You know, because they're on the cord.
Whatever.
All right, whatever. All right.
My dad says the same thing. Cut the cord. Cut the cord.
Yes, Victor. Please tell Keisha to cut the cord. You
I don't
listen
care
to your
what you
father
tell me.
now.
I'll do whatever the hell I
You
want.
listen
They're
to your
mine.
father now, okay?
They're mine. They're mine.
But
I
that
choose
sounds
to share
very
them.
possessive. That sounds
It is.
like
It is.
like they're your possession.
They are. I choose to share them.
Your
with you.
kids are your property?
They're mine. They're mine. They're all mine.
Oh, speaking of property, do you agree with Andrew Tate? Women are property. They belong to their husband. The wives belong to their husband.
Sure, that makes you feel better. Go ahead.
So you just think, oh, if it makes you feel better, whatever, it's okay. Who cares?
You know what? Anything that could go away is not really like. I mean, if I get bored, like I heard someone say on their live, when women want vitamin D and you're not giving it to them, they'll just go get it from somewhere else. So I don't really think that's your property. It's never paid off, so you
And
technically
vice
never
versa,
really
by the
own
way,
it.
it's vice versa.
You never really own it because you've never really ever paid it off. So just is what it is.
But you belong to your husband is the
Yeah, as long
religious
as he's
belief.
my husband, sure.
Right.
Till
Now
he's
you
not.
don't just belong to any man. You belong to your husband. So do you
Whatever.
believe in that concept of belonging to someone?
No, I believe in the concept of being someone's partner. I don't belong to you. I mean, what are you gonna do? Can't dictate and
Well,
control.
if you're not doing, what I want, I'll cast you off to the wayside. Get out of here.
Okay.
Scram.
Bye. Sure. Okay. That sounds like some typical man bullshit. Okay.
All
Yeah.
right. So, yeah, like this. Get out of
Ah,
here. Ah.
yeah. Just a little love pat, huh?
No, not a pat. It's just like, when you shrug somebody off and
Whatever, dude.
well,
Get
yeah,
outta
you just did it. You
Get
just
outta here.
did it. Whatever, dude. You just
Get outta
did
here.
it. Get out of
Get outta
town. All
here.
right.
Get outta here.
Anyways, did you see that Chuck Schumer was caught on a hot mic?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're all gonna watch it together as a family. Let's check it out.
That concern because the latest poll.
It's hard to believe that they would go for someone like Herschel Walker. It's hard to believe that they would go for someone like Herschel Walker. You know what, Chuck? Stand in line because we're all saying the same thing. It's hard to believe that someone would go for someone like Joe Biden.
That part.
That's really what he wants to say. How about that?
Hopefully
What do you think
March.
of that?
True.
Hopefully who?
I'm talking to True. I said hopefully in March. Hey, True, can we get together this weekend? Sorry.
True. Can we get together this weekend? What do you want to do this weekend? What do you want to do with True this weekend? Do you want to like torment him? Do you want to like what
I
are
wish
you
it wasn't
thinking?
raining. We could go for a ride, but I don't know. We'll just hang out like we do. He'll cook for me because he's a really good cook, so he cooks for me.
He's a good cook, so you just want to use people, huh?
Yeah, I do use True. He cooks for me. He makes sure that I have whatever I want to drink at his house. Like whether
Nice. He's hospitable.
Oh my
He's
God, he is.
hospitable.
And you know what, Jill? She's super amazing too. His better half.
What kind of drink are we talking about, by the way?
Like he usually has like Guinness there for me, or
Oh, that's a little heavy. That's a little heavy, Guinness.
yeah, just whatever I
Alright.
want. He's very good at like that.
I'll be happy with like give me something light. Give me something
Like-
light. Or an IPA. I'm okay with an IPA. IPA is not light, but
It depends on which IPA, but I could do an IPA.
something hazy,
It has to
double,
be very
double.
rich. though.
Get a double IPA, something
Yeah.
like that.
And
But
okay,
you said rich, so you want a triple. You want a triple. Those are strong, by the way.
Hey, Barracuda, welcome.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
so let's go on back. Focus.
Okay,
Talking
it's
about
okay.
the hot
It's
mic.
okay.
Well, it looks like the debate didn't hurt us too much in Pennsylvania as of today, so that's good. And we're basically picking up steam.
So here we go. What do we got? Okay. What else? That Fetterman's shaky debate performance on Tuesday night wasn't as detrimental as some has predicted. It looks like the debate didn't hurt us too much in Pennsylvania as of today, so that's good. What world is this guy living in? Really? Does he really
Listen,
believe
I
that?
said
What?
it. I said it before. They are
Terrified.
extremely concerned about November. They recognize that it's about to get ugly. They recognize that this fool that they put into the seat and let him, trespass in the White House is done.
Mm-hmm. The latest
It's
polls
done.
show Pennsylvania Senate race is tight with Fetterman holding a narrow lead, which tells me the state's probably going to go to Mehmet. It's going to probably go to Dr. Oz over here. Same thing with New York. What else we got here? The seat we're in danger in. The seat is close. What's the seed? We're in danger. During his conversation with President Joe Biden, Mr. Schumer appeared to worry about Democrat chances in different state Senate seats.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's real right now. It's real. It's real.
Well, hopefully Joe Pinion could unseat Mr. Chucky Chuck. I highly doubt it. But the guy we just listened to, I think it was yesterday, right? We listened to him.
Yes.
Mr. Joe Pinion running for Chuck Schumer's seat. So anybody in New York out there, please, if you're listening, Joe Pinion is better than Chuck Schumer. Let me tell you why. Ready? Not
Yeah.
only is he has a pulse on the actual issues of New York, he understands what could help us out of it. We're talking about school choice. We're talking about proper funding for housing. We're talking about dealing for reasons why people are in housing. He wants to sift through all of that to get people to the next stage of life. I like that about him. At least that's the intention. Right?
Okay.
It's not, let's give free, and hopefully free will get you out of that situation. No, Joe Pinion is saying free is not working because it tried. Chuck Schumer's tried free for 42 years, and free
Right.
hasn't worked for most New Yorkers. You know what's going
Right.
to work for most New Yorkers? If we change the environment in which they're in. That means fix the property damages that are in the projects. Let's deal with crime. That means more money to the police. Let's have a safe city, safe environment. And, hopefully that'll lead. Oh, and education. That was a big point that he wanted to talk about. Education. Education should be funded properly, have longer school days so that
You know,
kids can learn and take their time through
I
their
I
learning
hear
needs.
all that. I hear all that.
Okay.
We've heard it all before.
Have we?
Yeah, at this point, I just would like for one person to actually stand by their word and do what they say.
Ooh, you're so rough.
No,
So
it's
rough.
true. They pick the hot topics of what is currently trending and what the people are currently upset about. They speak about those things. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. And then they never really do.
But what the whole campaign of Donald Trump was another promise made, another promise kept. They do it. Donnie did it, the great Donald.
The problem with Donald Trump is if he would have had 8 years, we would have been on fire right now. Like it would have been like
Even
fabulous.
despite a pandemic, we probably
Yep.
would have been on the up and up.
Yeah, we would be thriving. Instead, they couldn't handle the fact that he wasn't conforming like they wanted. He wouldn't just bend over, and they didn't like that, so they did what they had to do.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, they invented people, they created people like Katy Perry who can't keep her eye open.
But from what I'm hearing, well, we're going to talk about election stuff today. We're not doing a deep dive of conspiracy thoughts. We're going to commentate on what Democrats were talking about when they had election integrity issues. Some of the things they said. Okay. But
Okay.
that's after you're gone and you leave me alone and I'm over here by myself wandering the abyss.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I'm not
Speaking
really
of
sorry.
which, what if we did a Saturday show and we played some
Sure.
music, right? We do some music. Maybe we do that on a TikTok. We have a good time. Play some music.
Sure.
Play
Sure.
like, let the
Yeah.
music play and she won't get away. Let the music play. Yeah, we'll probably have some fun. Is everybody up for that? Everybody's up for that? Just throw a
I don't
thumbs
want
up
that
or a
song,
thumbs down.
but okay.
That what?
I don't want that song, but okay.
All right, it's fine. We can play whatever we want. It's our show. We do whatever we want. I wish we could do it here. We could play
I know
music
that would be
here.
nice.
It feels
That would be
more comfortable and I don't know. Ulta Tool, a dive to. Yes, Ulta is. Yes.
Ugh.
By the way, there's a young lady who went around Texas asking who they would vote for in the governor race and why they would vote for those said people. And here's what they had to say.
The 2022 midterms are coming up, and we have a big governor's race here in Texas. We have Beto O'Rourke going up against Governor Greg Abbott. Now, I'm here at UT Austin to ask Texas residents who they're going to be voting for and why. Let's go find out. Are you from here in Texas?
Yes.
Are you planning on voting at all in the 2022 midterms?
Yes.
Who do you plan on voting for?
Beto.
How come?
I love Beto. I don't know anything about politics. I'm sorry.
Well, you're gonna vote for Beto because you like him?
Yes.
Give me one of his policies that you like the most that has led you to want
She
to.
just said she loves him. See, this is why I don't throw around the L word, Keisha. Because these people say love so easy, so quickly. I love Beto. What do you know about him? Nothing. I'm not really into politics. Like, to love someone, you got to know them, right? You
I
got to know
agree.
something about them. Like, what the hell are
I
you loving
agree.
this person for? This is a problem with our generation. They just say love, love, love to everything. I love this water bottle. I love this. I love this pen. I mean, like, can we relax?
Well, that's because there's two forms of love.
There's actually 4 to be specific. And if I was
Oh,
going
my
to be a
bad.
nerd, I could actually go through all 4 types of love. There's arrows. They're all different types of Greek terms to love.
Sure.
There's
Okay.
friendship love. There's intimate relational love. There's
Okay.
property love. You can love your property. That's why I was just, anyways, whatever. Go ahead.
Oh,
Go
okay.
ahead, producer.
Vote for him.
Oh shoot. I'm not into politics. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know
Dum
anything.
dum.
No?
Mm-mm.
How come you're not voting for Greg Abbott then?
Because a lot of my friends. It's because a lot of my friends talk about Beto and they say how great he is, and I agree.
So if a lot of your friends told you to jump off a bridge, you remember that saying they used to tell us when we were kids, right?
with my friends like ideals. So yeah, and they've explained it to me. I just forget.
Yeah, Beto.
You're really excited about Beto. You want to vote for him for governor. Talk to me about why that is.
I've like again, I haven't brushed up before this
This
particular
winner.
thing. I like
This
Beto.
winner.
But you will be voting for him for governor for the 2022 midterm.
Yes, absolutely.
I could see why a lot of men have a lot of issues when it comes to trying to kick it to a woman because they just sound like complete jackasses. Like if I sound anything close to that, like just just a hard slap. Like every time a man goes up to a woman like that, they should get slapped like real hard.
Well, first of all,
What do you think?
you are assuming his gender, so let's just start there, okay?
Oh my lord! Don't do this to me today. It's Friday.
Well, you
I don't have
picked,
time
first
for
of
you
all,
with
you
this.
picked this person who's in Austin, Texas. That doesn't even count as Texas. Okay.
Then no one claims Austin as part of Texas.
Yeah, it's not even a part of Texas. So like, I don't even know why you would.
Austin
Why would
and
we
Houston.
play this to be
a lot
like,
of people.
oh, so she's in Austin with these lame college students and these,
Mhm,
bougie bitches,
mhm.
and they don't even
I
know
didn't like
why.
Austin. I didn't like Austin, by the way, when I went there. San Antonio was great. I loved it. And then I went to just outside of San Antonio, which is like San Marcos.
Okay. Anyways, I don't
And
know
then
why
I
we're
went
playing this video talking
I
about they're
went
in
to
Texas. They're not in Texas.
then I went to another part of outside of San Antonio's here. Then I went to this side. I went west, more west out there. Just trying to survey the area, look down there. It's not a bad area. I like that area down there. There's a lot of brown and a lot of black people down there. I liked it.
Oh, you found your people?
I found a nice mix. I'm from New York, so there's a mixture of white, black, brown. I saw some Asian people there.
You're
I'm
from
like,
New York.
okay,
We
I could
didn't
vibe.
know.
I could vibe with San Antonio. There's a good mix here.
Everyone
You know,
is from New York, just in case you were wondering.
let's see what we got here.
How come?
Abortion stuff. I'm pretty like socialist democratic, so I've always supported Democratic candidate. Honestly, I just want to push for Texas to be blue. I think overall, I'm not like a particular fan of Beto overall, so.
So why do you want the state to be blue?
If that makes sense.
So you said you like Beto because of the abortion issue. Talk to me about why that's important.
She just totally just says fuck you then. Like like you're not really
Well,
contributing.
first of all, she's really not very good at this.
Oh, clearly she's not. She's not. But at
Secondly,
least someone's asking the questions though. At least someone's asking the questions.
okay, I'm just gonna get a fucking Bluetooth mic. Matter of fact, I'm gonna order one today on Amazon, and I'm
Are
just
you
gonna
gonna
have
go
it sit on
around?
the
Are you gonna
question.
go around? Are you gonna go around to Washington State and ask?
Yeah, I'm gonna
straight
go into
questions?
the downtown Seattle, and I'm gonna wear, "Let's go, Brandon," and then watch how many people cuss at me.
Well, it wasn't that bad when I went to Seattle. I mean, it's liberal, but
Oh,
it
it's that
wasn't.
bad now. It's that bad.
It wasn't physically violent when I went there.
It's
When
that.
I went
I'm
there.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We had a whole thing called CHOP. That was in
Yeah, I
Seattle.
know that. I know
Oh.
that something happened. Those weirdos over there. What do they call themselves?
I don't know.
Antifa. Those weirdos over
I
there.
don't know what they call themselves, but
They
what I
always run from the Proud Boys. Apparently, they have no skin in the game when it comes to guys who really are about that life.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, the guys that actually carry and really about that life.
Oh yeah, we
Mhm.
really about that life.
That's what I'm saying. But those Antifa posers, they're not really about that.
No, but I'm gonna just start interviewing people and just standing there and they can stare at me because I dare somebody to say something stupid because they're not. First of all, my
Even
interview.
if they did say something stupid, are you really gonna pop off with someone saying something stupid?
I probably would just start laughing like,
That's fine.
okay.
That's fine. But let them not put
As
no
long as they
hands
don't
on
say
you.
nothing stupid to me.
They can say something stupid to you, but
No, they cannot.
they can't put hands on you.
No. No, they cannot.
But if
Be
you're
clear.
asking the questions, you might as well
Okay, don't
expect someone
okay,
to say
answer
something
the
stupid.
question, but don't say nothing stupid to me. Okay? Don't
Like
make it personal.
what if they turn around and just call you a bitch and just, what
Okay.
if they just did that? Would that constitute being physically violent?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Why? Why do you have to
First of all,
go to
first of all,
the
first of all,
to
first
the
of all,
aggression?
first of all, let's be clear. If you're bold enough to look me in my face and call me a bitch, you're bold
Right in
enough to
your
talk
eyes.
to
Right in
yeah,
your
and you're
eyes.
bold enough to get your jaw readjusted, and then I will hand you a straw.
But you can't do that
I can
legally.
do what you can call me a bitch, I can sock you in your fucking mouth.
But you can't do that. You
No,
have
I
to
can.
let
I can
but
and
you
I
have to
will.
let them hit
No, I
you and
can
then
and I will. No. I'm not stuttering. I can and I will. Call me a bitch to my face. I dare you. I dare you. Imma show you what a
dang.
bitch is. Imma show
How
you
you would
exactly what a
survive in
bitch
New
is.
York City? How would you survive in New York City?
I probably wouldn't.
If you get catcalled in New York
I
City,
would have to
right?
carry lots of insurance.
And they would say some shit like, oh, you looking 95. And you just go, whatever. You did that. Whatever's that? Whatever, dude. Do that again? Do whatever, dude.
Whatever. Get to the point.
Right? Whatever, dude. And you do that shit, right? And they be
Yeah.
like, all right, bitch. Right? They
Are you
do
are you
that
talking
all the time. They do that all the time here in New York City.
Oh, she filed divorce from Tom Brady. What did
Yeah,
she do?
yeah, she did. But I'm just saying, come on. I'm trying to get to it with you. I'm trying to get to it. They gonna call you that in New York
That's
City.
right, true. I don't
You
care.
have to wait till I get done with them. Hey, True's got your back. True's got your back.
He
But I'm
always has
just
my
saying,
back.
in New York City, they call women this on the regular.
Okay. The dudes do?
Yes.
And I probably would turn around, walk back in front of all his friends and say, "Did you just call me a bitch?" "Yeah, I just called
Yes.
you a bitch." Then I would
Yes.
break his jaw, and then I would hand him a straw,
You
and all his
see,
friends would be like,
do you see? Do you
"Did
wanna?
she
You
just
wanna?
put this fucker to sleep? He is straight napping."
I'm
"Yeah.
telling
Good
you,
night,
these people
bitch."
are wild here. They're wild
Okay.
in
Oh,
New
I'm
York City.
telling you, ask Christina. She'll tell you.
They're
Ask my
wild
brother.
here. They jump
Ask my
people here.
brother.
They do all that.
He'll tell
And
you.
it's
I
like
wouldn't
California here. You know how it is in in Compton and
Yeah.
all those places.
Yeah, I'm a California native, born and raised.
That's what I'm saying. It's rough. You ain't got no backup over here in New York City.
Okay,
Who
so you
who you
like to think
running with? Who you
who am I
running
running
with?
with? Okay. You want me to drop into the streets in New York and show you?
You got people here in New York?
I have people everywhere in every state. I just gotta
Okay,
make
good.
one phone call. I just gotta make a phone call, and they'll
All
show up.
right. All right. Okay.
Let's be clear.
All
Okay?
right. Sounding like a little whack 100 over here. Okay, I got you. All right, this is my favorite part. Stop laughing like that. Stop laughing like please stop. That sounds like the most sinister laugh in the world.
Let's do it.
Look, Carol's got your back. She's a native New Yorker. Carol's like, yo, she could run with me. You know what I
That's
mean? Look at that.
right. See?
New Yorkers, we have strong loyalty ties, but do not step on New Yorkers' toes because that's the last thing you want to do. Be on an island in New York City, that's for sure. All right, let's run this one because I actually like this kid's response. Ready?
Yeah.
Talk to me about Abbott a little bit because we've had a lot of support for Beto out here. What specifically do you like about Abbott over Beto?
Governor Abbott, he's so I want to be a physician. I know a few physicians. I've met some that he's appointed to the Texas Medical Board, and they've been very good people. So he's made some pretty good decisions over that, relatively speaking. And it's also that I really don't like Beto, right? He really comes off as hyperbolic, and he waits for something to go wrong, and then he goes all in on that with a super emotional spiel, which I really don't like. Like the way he did the Uvalde thing, I say, it's a tragedy. Of course, it's wrong, but you can't make everything in the state about just one thing, right? And I definitely don't support his ideas of gun buybacks and all of that, because if you don't know, the worst mass shooting.
So there's hope. When I hear someone like this giving answers like that, especially saying things like hyperbolic and going all in with an emotional spiel. Hey, kid, you just literally spoken for the entire Democrat Party. That's what they do. They're
Well, and
hyperbolic.
see, he wants to be a
and emotional.
physician, so he's intelligent. He does his due diligence.
Yeah, but he might
Where-
want to buddy up with the Democrats, because being a physician in America, it's going to be hard if you're a conservative out loud. That's for sure.
Uh,
You know.
uh,
But he sounds pretty intelligent. He sounds like he knows a thing or two about the candidate. But this girl goes around Texas, in Austin, like you said, and is asking questions whether they vote for Beta or Abbott, and they have this blind loyalty of voting. Would you have that, Keisha? Like, you're obviously a registered Republican. You're a
Yes.
sitting Republican person in office, right?
Yes.
And so, would you have that blind loyalty to your party?
No.
So do you call out your party?
Yeah.
So like
I call out the very people who I sit on an executive board with. So yeah, I'm not. This isn't about an R or D. This is about we need to do what's right for the people.
So when you're there, you get into those contentions, debates with members of your own cabinet, right?
Oh yeah.
So can you give me an example, just one example of something that you get into a back and forth with? Like, hey, I'm not with this, and you've had a bad debate on the floor or whatever the hell.
Well, we've had some. I mean, I can't give you like exact details, but we did have a major issue arrived that had to do with like a committee and whether or not we should keep the committee or get rid of it. And we have a chairman. He made the decision, and a person wanted to go back and forth, and no, that's not what we're here for. And I proceeded to tell them they had me fucked up.
You said those words.
Yeah.
You said those words in a professional environment?
Yes. I did. I don't normally, I never cuss, and I was mad, and I was over it, and then I said you got me fucked up. I was like, what the fuck is really going on right now?
Don't you have like a PR person? Don't you
No,
have
no.
somebody?
And I told them, I said I'm dead ass serious, and they were just like,
You said dead ass serious?
yes. I said I'm dead ass right now. I said you guys got me incredibly fucked up, and if this is what you think we're gonna be doing, I'm not doing this. This is what we here for?
You can't talk like that.
Silence. It was like crickets. And then when it was over, they were like, all people were walking up to me, thank you. People were like, thank you, wording it from across the table. I can talk however I want.
You can't do that.
I did it.
Isn't
It's on
there
the
somebody
record.
who
It's on the
somebody's
record.
Yeah, so I was just about to say people are taking record of this.
Yeah, it's on the record that I said that.
You can't do that.
I did it. I can and I did.
Wow.
They didn't even know what dead ass meant. I mean, that's just like how white they were. They were like, huh?
Oh, that is pretty bad. That's pretty
No,
bad.
what's pretty bad is that this is what we're doing. So I don't care.
And do you see members around you that have that blind loyalty to the party?
Yes.
And it's dangerous, right?
When I said to them that we need to do things different, like you need to stop approaching people saying I'm Republican, especially in such a staunch liberal section of like Seattle, Washington King County is very liberal. I said just approach them with the policies and these things, and then just more people are conservative than they're not. They just don't recognize that you can be conservative and have these values, and it doesn't necessarily have to be an R or a D, right? And when I approached them with that, they were like, "Well, I shouldn't be ashamed to say I'm a Republican." Well, no, but you're like a white man and you're racist. So now what?
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Nanny on this one. I agree
Yeah.
with you. It's pretty
Yeah.
self-explanatory. But then again, I'm from New York. Dead ass is everything we say. It's either dead ass or fuck that stupid bitch, or you guys know.
No, but I'm serious. Like I said that, and it's on the record, and it is what it is. But I was upset. Like I started shaking. I was so mad.
That's never going anywhere, right? I could read that 50 years from now, and it'll show your name,
Yes.
and this, that, and the third, and it's gonna say she said, "Dead ass, you must got me fucked up." It's gonna say it on the record.
Yeah, I know. That's the whole
Yeah.
point. But they love me.
Wow.
They love me.
Wow,
They love
what a
me. They don't want me to go
firecracker.
anywhere. Like when I threaten to leave, they're like, "Please don't, please don't, please don't." Like they love me.
What a
Like
firecracker you are,
I
you
door
know?
knock with all our candidates. Like they love me. But the fact is that I'm real.
Are you cursing while you door knocking? Are you like, "Yo, what's good?" Or
No,
how
no,
we
no. But
doing?
if I bump up against somebody who needs some hood talk, then let's do it.
But what's hood talk? Why do you need to have a separate talk? Why do we have to code switch? That's called code switching.
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to let these people know. No, I relate to you. I understand where you're coming from.
But you
I hear
don't relate. You said you grew up in a white neighborhood.
Listen, I just told you I can drop into the streets of New York and make one phone call. You think I can relate? I was in Florida at a meetup. I made one phone call. My brother was like, "They are 5 minutes away. Let me know if you need them." He said, when you hear the bikes, just look for what you need to look for on the vest so you know who to talk to." Oh, okay. That part.
The boys with the patches is what you're talking about. Okay. All right. So Jeannie Thomas and Clarence Thomas, Supreme Court Justice, is
Yeah.
on the minds once again on liberal media, and they are citing or asking for a possible investigation into Janine, who's the wife of Clarence Thomas,
Oh, yeah.
and Clarence Thomas. They're asking
Yeah.
for an investigation. Perhaps they're putting pressure on Mr. Thomas now to see if he would resign so they can replace him, right?
Right.
Or I thought that, this is a pretty odd way of saying it, but I really agreed with them. And I know this is going to be very extreme, but I don't care. Greg Kelly, are you familiar with Greg Kelly?
Uh-huh.
Okay. They call him a racist. I don't believe that. I literally listen to the guy almost every day, okay? And he said something like when he's talking about the whole, possible attacks on justices or even protests.
Uh-huh.
He said, "How come they're not saying anything about the attempted murder or the attempted to harm a Supreme Court judge like Alito?" Alito
Yes.
said, "Hey, the leak was possibly to cause harm onto me or to Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh," right?
Right.
And Greg Kelly literally says in passing, perhaps that's what they want because if one of them dies, they can replace him. And I was just like, damn, it's a dirty game if it's really like that, but I don't put it past them. I'm sure everybody in the chat, I don't care who is out there listening, watching us on replay or watching us right now. Do you really think that's far-fetched? Do you think
No.
it's far-fetched? Right. It's just dirty. It's just dirty.
Nothing. There was a time maybe I would have thought it was, but in 2022, nothing is far-fetched. I mean,
Nothing's off the table when
nothing.
they've gone after the previous president the way they have and still continue to
Nothing.
go. Yeah.
Right.
House
Okay,
of
so
Cards, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so before you start this video, it's my checkout time.
Yeah, but I want you to see this before you head out. Like, can you give me like a
Then why
minute
are
or
you
two?
still talking?
Okay. Wow.
Press
So
play.
sassy. So sassy.
It is painstaking work. A lot of it happens behind closed doors. It's vital to the good health of our democracy, using raw legal might to pry loose information from the government that would otherwise remain secret. You may or may not have heard the name CREW before. It stands for Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, but you have certainly come across and benefited from their good work.
Okay.
They obtain records from the National Archives related to those 15 boxes of documents, some of them are top secret, that Donald Trump brought with him to Mar-a-Lago. They obtain communications from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' office having to do with his Migrants to Martha's Vineyard scheme. They uncovered material that indicated Senator Chuck Schumer was the subject of a shooting threat at the U.S. Capitol when it was under attack on January 6th.
Okay.
And that's just this month. Documents related to the effort to overturn the 2020
Hold up. Let's stop. Let's slow down. Can we go back just a smidge? Just a smidgy. Do we see anything here about the attacks on the Supreme Court justice or the protest?
No.
They aren't they about the ethics something committee or
Oh,
whatever?
but look at who they're going after.
Who are they going after? Let's see.
Look at that. Trump and DeSantis.
Trump, neo-Nazi, DeSantis, and now they're looking into Janine and Clarence Thomas. Why? Because apparently Janine has some text message in relations to the January 6th quote unquote what? Insurrection that has now been moved to be called officially a riot.
Yes.
Officially. Okay. Why do they want to investigate these two? Why do they want to put them on the stand in the select committee? Is to simply try to throw more dirt on a black man.
Yep.
To get him to be pressured to resign. If
They know. No, listen. They know who's dangerous, right? And if you notice, that's exactly who they're coming after. So they know that Clarence is not going to just roll over and do what they say do and tell him like, no, you will, and you will, and you will. He's not going to do that. They already see that. So now they're coming for his head. And they see that. And they're doing this because they recognize that there's going to be some things that are coming and things that are changing. And they know that if DeSantis or Trump gets back into the White House, it's all downhill for them. So they're going to come for the very people that they feel right now are the most dangerous.
Yep.
I would love to see DeSantis and Trump on a ticket.
Yeah, but who's going to guard the ship in Florida?
That's a really good question. And DeSantis would probably be better off waiting until,
2026 or
2028. Yeah.
2028, yeah.
Yeah, he'd be better off waiting. And then that way they can bring somebody else in to take that position. But I mean, it is what it is. DeSantis will probably be a president of the United States.
And he'll be a damn good one. He's young,
Yes.
he's sharp,
Yes.
he's really about it, and he's enthusiastic. To a lot of these guys on the left, there's not a lot of enthusiastic politicians on the left. The only person that I saw was Mr. Yang, and I just don't like the direction in which he wants to go. He's pretty progressive, and some of it doesn't seem practical. Some of the
Well,
ideas that Andrew Yang has.
right. And right now we need this midterm because it will be able to show like the impact that the red wave can have on the economy, on everything, the influence to improve it to come into 2024. But realistically, this is just to set us up for 2024. This is just the beginning.
And if they know anything about Clarence Thomas, after all the pressure he went through and continues to go through, and he has not rolled yet, good
No.
luck on this endeavor, Democrats, because he ain't going to roll on this. This guy has clearly shown he's answered to one person and one person only, and that's God. The guy is a complete devout Christian, by the way. He's a devout Christian.
And the thing is too, they're showing their color, right? So like before, when he was coming into this seat, they drug him. Now they're trying to drag him again because he's not doing what they want. It just doesn't look good. At this point, you should just leave him alone.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
agree.
just what it is. So, anyways, it's about that time.
It's about that time. In a minute, dinner. Well, have a good one. We'll be back right here, folks, for more Morning Fix live radio show. welcome back here to the Morning Fix Live Radio Show. We have 24 minutes, 24-minute hustle time to go through what I call the most important part of the show. No jokes involved, folks. We are getting down to the nitty-gritty on something that I want to really get out there. No conspiracy, just what they say. Take what they say and commentate. Listen and hear. As they say, have ears to hear, open up and listen. This is the time we should be listening. There was a person on 60 Minutes that kind of quietly had an interview that no one really was talking about. Well, the CEO of Dominion Software, that's right, the CEO of Dominion, in which it was in question by many prominent lawyers after the 2020 election, sat down with 60 Minutes to say a few things.
Smartmatic own Dominion?
No. We do have a relationship. We are competitors.
Were you associated with the late Hugo Chavez?
Absolutely not.
Do you use a Venezuelan company's software that's been used to steal election out of the countries?
Absolutely not. Anderson,
All right, so let's take that back really quickly. Like I said, we just take what they say, we listen and we hear. We take what they say, we listen and we hear. There's no speculation, there's no conjecture. We take what they say, we listen with an open ear, and we listen and we commentate. Let me tell you why. I want you guys to listen to the question one more time.
Smartmatic own Dominion?
No. We do have a relationship. We are competitors.
Were you associated with?
Does Smartmatic own Dominion? Not did Smartmatic did own Dominion, or did Dominion own Smartmatic, right? The question is present, not past tense. Does Smartmatic own Dominion? Let's do it again. Let's listen. Let's listen to it again. Ready?
No. We do have a relationship. We are competitors.
As well. And it was formed in order to...
I want to take it back so you guys can hear it in context.
We do have a relationship. We are competitors.
That's the...
Smartmatic own Dominion?
No.
Elections. Let's
try it again.
That's the company that owns Dominion.
Does Smartmatic own Dominion?
No.
All right, you guys heard the question. Does Smartmatic own Dominion? The answer is no. And he is 100% correct. But the question is a half-hearted question. Because if you're going to have an exclusive interview, can we not get some context? When Dominion came into the game, Dominion was owned by Smartmatic for a subsequent set of time. In 2010, Dominion became its own entity. So it's been on its own since 2010. In fact, now there's a relationship, a partnership between Dominion and Smartmatic. So yes, there is some validity to what Rudy Giuliani is talking about, what Sidney Powell was talking about when it comes to the Hugo Chavez election in Venezuela. Because guess what? It was during that time frame. Okay. Now, could it have been a different element to this? Absolutely. Could he have been directly involved? No. So the answers are correct. But these are easy questions. These are not grilling questions. It's supposed to look that way. It's supposed to appear that way so it can convince you how delusional the right is. It can convince you how delusional and off-putting they are. Absolutely not. No. When Dominion came into the game of voting machines, voting into elections at all, they were owned by Smartmatic for a subsequent set of time, and by 2010, they became solo. They're their own entity. Now let's get to the next question.
We do have a relationship. We are competitors.
Were you associated with the late Hugo Chavez?
Absolutely not.
And this, again, is an easy question. What is the question? Are you related to the great Hugo Chavez? What are you asking? One, this guy doesn't know Hugo Chavez. Guys, I don't know this man. I don't know the CEO. I don't know his life. But I can tell you one thing. He doesn't know Hugo Chavez. There's no vested interest in Hugo Chavez. He could have another managerial part, or companies are huge. CEOs are not directly involved with every freaking transaction. And furthermore, this isn't another country. This could be Dominion Venezuela or some other form or working part of it all. But hey, for a prosecuting or defense attorney, they could bring this up as credibility. So yes, one side could be right, and yes, he could be right. These are very softball questions, but they're meant to look like they're being grilled. All right, let's continue.
Do you use a Venezuelan company's software that's been used to steal election out of the countries?
Absolutely not.
Okay, what do you expect to happen here? Do you expect him to say absolutely yes and for him to incriminate himself? So again, why don't we open the door? We're not doing a legal analysis. What we're doing is let's open the door to things that were talked about. Hey, why was this circulating about you? What happened here? Was there ever a history of this? Could there be any connection? Something that you have seen. This is not good journalism. This is what happens when you're trying to confirm your bias rather than just try to open the door as a journalist. That's what journalism does. It opens doors to conversations. Hey, we want to get more out of this. Let's keep pruning this grape until we get all the juices out of it. Shall we? Let's continue.
Anderson, I can cut all of this short. We were founded in Toronto, which is where my family was from, and there was nothing to do with Venezuela.
Can you flip votes in the computer system? Can you add votes that did not exist?
Absolutely not.
President Trump.
All right. They're going to go into what they're going to go into. We're going to get back to this. We're going to put a thumb on this. Can you switch votes? Can you do any of this? Well, let's take a look at something. This whole idea of can you switch votes? Can you not switch votes? Well, there was a letter written by Democrats in 2019 that talked about the questioning of votes being switched. Okay. Now, if you guys want to see that letter, we're not going to read through it, but this is exactly what this letter looks like. I want you guys to at least get a glimpse of it. So if you guys go to this website, actually, I got the wrong tab here. So let me just get the right tab. That way you guys can see the right thing. So this is the actual letter that was written, and I'll show you guys the heading. This is the heading here. I'm going to drop this in the Telegram group. I'll let you guys read it for yourselves. You guys decide for yourselves. But the most important thing I want to zero in here and zoom in is I want you to see who signed this. You have Amy Klobuchar and Elizabeth Warren. Both are who? Democrats. And this was written in 2019, where they had a step process to have criteria fulfilled, which election technology companies, including all affiliates, are related to entities has HID has stake in owned in the past 20 years. They wanted to get all that information. They also wanted to know, could they switch votes? They even made the claim here in 2018 alone, voters in South Carolina were reporting machines that switched their votes after they inputted them. Scanners were rejecting paper ballots in Missouri, and busted machines were causing long lines in Indiana. In addition, researchers recently uncovered previously undisclosed vulnerabilities in nearly 36 backed election systems in 10 states. 164 votes out of 55,000 cast in Pennsylvania state judicial election in 2019, the county's Republican chairman said. So they also were talking about this in 2019, that they were vote switching. So guess what, CEO? You may not be your software or may not have been the software during that time frame that you're talking about currently, but at some point there were vote switching. So guess what? He lied. He lied. Period. He lied. We're not adding any conjecture. There's no speculation here. This is what they say, what is asked, and we're commentating very clearly. This is not conspiracy stuff. Conspiracy is to just go out with a blanket statement and then try to confirm that. We can go on the assumption and on the guys and say, hey, there wasn't enough to overturn the election. Sure, whatever. I don't care. Whether I say whether it was rigged or not, whether I say it was fair or not, doesn't matter. Joe Biden is still in office. That's not going to change. What I find very interesting is that after 2 years of all the claims that were made and the lawsuits that were filed, you have the CEO of Dominion want to sit down with this person here is 60 Minutes, Mr. Cooper. Let's there's another portion of this interview. Let's go to that portion of the interview where he talks about the baseless claims.
On election day in a precinct, are your machines hooked up to the internet?
No, not by any stretch. We go through a number of certifications, government certifications, and the first one is at a federal level. So those standards mandate that election systems, such as ours, are designed to work in a closed system, air-gapped, no internet.
In all the major swing states of 2020, there are paper ballots backing up.
By the way, the White House cybersecurity analysts revealed that some machines were connected to the internet. It wasn't whether it was on purpose or not. That's not what we're getting into. Again, we have an election personnel, a high official, lying. Now, could he be honest about his machine specifically? I don't know. How can he? How can he monitor all his machines? Unless he has an IT person to monitor them. And in order to monitor them is how? Through the internet. Do you see where I'm going at here, folks? Hey, those questions need to be answered. I'm leaving it open-ended. It is what it is. But here we have, after 2 years, we're like literally under 11 days towards the midterm elections. And here we are sitting down with the CEO of Dominion Software, and he's addressing the baseless claims. And I find it very interesting because they say that the Republicans are a threat to democracy because they ask these questions. They say, hey, there's some integrity issues. Hey, there's some software issues. They did this in Arizona, in Maricopa County. Hey, they were saying, hey, what is going on here? Hey, we need to check the machines. Hey, we need to check the devices. All the things Democrats were doing. They hired people, they're called ethical hackers, white hats, to try to hack the machines. Are they hackable? Do they connect to the internet? Can you stick a USB thumb drive in them? What happens when you do? They hired people to do this stuff. So they know the answers to this. The only difference is they didn't blame a party in which that's why they're not a threat to democracy, right? I want you guys to listen to this video as to why they're allowed to speak this way. This is Amy Klobuchar on Meet the Press in 2018.
From Minneapolis, on the other side of the aisle, Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota. Senator, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Thanks, Chuck.
Let me stick to election security there. You heard Senator Blunt's concerns about the bill this week. It was essentially unmarked money. It sort of, and it sounded like that was many of the Republicans there. What would you say in response to that? Essentially, he's saying he'd support more money if it's specified for what.
Listening to the Secretary of State of the states in this nation, and they said that they needed more help, and we think it's paramount we act quickly, given that we now have the intelligence heads for the United States government in an unprecedented move, all going to the White House and saying that this is happening now. We have a common set of facts, and that's why as we move forward, I'm glad that we were able to get the $380 million out to the states. 47 states now have their funding for things like backup paper ballots. But we also need to get the Secure Elections Act passed. And that's what my friend Roy Blunt was talking about there. We're going to be voting on that bill finally in committee. And that's going to allow us to require backup paper ballots of the 14 states that either have partial or don't have them at all.
Let me get you to respond to something.
And by the way, that act didn't pass. Okay.
The Director of National Intelligence, Dan Coates, said about this election. Take a listen, Senator.
Our focus here today is simply to tell the American people we acknowledge the threat. It is real, it is continuing, and we're doing everything we can to have a legitimate election that the people can have trust in.
Senator, I have to say it's the last phrase that sort of sent a little bit of a shiver down my spine. So that we can have a legitimate election. It wasn't a guarantee yet. How confident are you that the 2018 midterm elections are going to be legitimate?
I'm very concerned that you could have a hack that finally went through. You have 21 states that were hacked into.
All right, so here we go. They were hacked. I'm concerned. I believe that this is going to happen. We see the threat. They're questioning the integrity of the election. They are building it up. Hey, we don't think it's going to be free. We don't think it's going to be fair because it was hacked. Who was it hacked by? Not the Republican Party. They're not saying that directly, right? Here's what they're saying.
They didn't find out about it for a year, and that's one of the reasons that we want to pass our bill so that there's now a requirement that they tell the individual Secretary of States immediately so they can protect themselves. And I think you also have the fact that you've got the president undermining this on national TV. Still, after his security people, General Nakasone, that they go in front of the world and they say this is happening, he says that night at a rally in Pennsylvania that it's a hoax. So that concerns me, but at the same time, there are some very good people working on it. I'd love to see this broadened out so we start to discuss also the threats to our power grid system, the threats to our financial system, because the Russians aren't just stopping at the election. The threats to our financial system, because the Russians aren't just stopping at the election.
Let's go one more time. Who?
Power grid system, the threats to our financial system, because the Russians aren't just stopping at the election equipment.
Is the president's...
Because the Russians aren't stopping at the election equipment. You see, that's why Amy Klobuchar is not an extremist, according to the Democrat standards. They are not extremists. They're not a threat to democracy, according to Joe Biden. Why? Because they didn't blame the opposing party for why the election was rigged or stolen. But the dossier says otherwise. The dossier was a way to somehow implicate the Donald Trump administration, President Trump, and his personnel to say, hey, they colluded with Russia. They were part of the scheme. They were a part of the plan. And we have a double agent who is able to corroborate this in testimony. Well, it says that the FBI knew he was lying. The FBI still, despite all that, knowing that he lied on other issues, despite knowing that he lied on the current issue of the dossier, said that was bar talk, they decided to pay him as an informant. Because the objective is to drum up not only the enemy and adversary of Russia and say they're the ones who hacked into our election and they're the ones who manipulated the election. And the reason why that is because Trump colluded and worked. The RNC worked with Russia and was able to gain access because of that so that Donald Trump could be the winner. I mean, that is some really serious allegations to which none of it was substantiated. That was some really serious stuff. For example, in 2020, our election was hacked by a foreign entity. But that wasn't the primary focus for Democrats, nor was that the primary focus for Republicans. You see, you have to use a foreign entity and then come in through the back door, and that's how you cling on to it. Unless you are a Republican, you can't go through that back door. You can't back channel your way through that. No, you can't do that. And if you're a Republican, you don't have the opportunity to do the things that Mr. Raskins was doing. What was he doing? Well, in 2017, he voted to decertify the president election in 2016, in which some of the Republicans were doing who are seen as MAGA Republicans and MAGA extremists. The very same thing was done just a few short years before.
The 29 electoral votes cast by Florida were cast by electors not lawfully certified.
Is the objection in writing and signed not only by the member of the House of Representatives, but also by a senator?
It is in writing, Mr. President.
Is it signed by a senator?
Not as of yet, Mr. President.
In that case, the objection cannot be entertained.
Mr. President, I object to the certificate from the state of Georgia on the grounds that the electoral votes were not...
There's no debate.
I object to the certificate from the state of North Carolina based on violations of the Voting
There is
Rights
no
Act
debate.
and
There's no
concerning hacking
debate
by
in the
Russian
joint
government.
session.
I object because people are horrified by the overwhelming evidence
Section
of Russian
18,
interference
Title
in our
3 of the United States Code prohibits debate.
I object.
Objected to the counting of the electoral votes of the state of Ohio.
I object to the certificate from the state of Alabama. The electors were not lawfully certified.
I object to the 15 votes from the state of North Carolina because of the massive voter suppression and the closing of polling booths.
There's no debate. There's no debate.
16
There's
to
no
1,
debate.
and the massive
The
voter suppression that occurred to
The
African-Americans.
gentleman will suspend.
I have an objection to the electoral votes.
The objection is in writing, and I don't care that it is not signed by a member of the Senate. I do not wish to debate. I wish to ask, is there one United States senator who will join me in this letter
There's
of
no
objection?
debate.
The objection is signed by a member of the House, but not yet by a member of the Senate.
It is.
You know what's incredible is, you know where this actually had a senator? In 2020, you had someone who wrote an objection to decertify a state. It was happening, and you had Ted Cruz who also signed that objection. It's all you needed. But guess what happened when that was in process? The riot happened. People entered the Capitol. There was a delay. People had a change of heart all of a sudden. You can't be seen as a threat to democracy. Stop hindering this. Stop stopping this because you're going to put our lives in jeopardy. No, that was Nancy Pelosi. Her job was to make sure that that Capitol was secure. That's what happened. This is ridiculous. And it continues. They're not a threat to democracy only if you are a Democrat.
Over.
And when the House managers realized that the president's
That was during the impeachment trial. That was a great collage of videos. But it's just incredible that they'll call people on the right threat to democracy, but don't have that same energy. Somehow they don't hold their own party accountable. And I even think people who are Republicans or registered Republicans, you need to keep your party accountable too. Here's Amy Klobuchar on the House floor, on the Senate floor, in the Senate chambers, arguing about those hackers again.
Called be vitiated.
Without objection.
Mr. President, I come to the floor today to urge the Senate to take action on election security legislation immediately. It has been 1,005 days since Russia attacked our elections in 2016, and we have yet to pass any kind of comprehensive election security.
They can never give the W where the W is to be given, but then they expect you to subject yourself to the fact that the W should be given to someone who doesn't know how to direct themselves through the White House, who's never once went on a campaign trip, did pretty much a campaign from his basement, could barely generate 100 or more people at his campaign rallies, had the get vaccinated or else stance, has drummed up the economy, doesn't know how to mitigate or navigate and quail angers and frustration between Russia and Ukraine, to which why we have a 7-month war. Did a debacle pullout in Afghanistan that cost the lives of 13 Marines, that cost them their lives, that had literally thousands, in fact, probably million of women who were in this climate have to scurry and run for their lives because they will be subject to Sharia law now. It's very hard to sit there and subject ourselves to believe that this is, in fact, something we have to subject ourselves to, that we don't virtually cannot have any questions about the matter. Why can't we question it? As people spineless and gutless, they can't simply just question it and not be deemed an extremist. Hell, Democrats were doing it for 4+ years and still, for some reason, still doing it. Quick question. Is this channel Democrat or Republican? I lean right. I'm a conservative, but there is no register. We're not registered here, right? So you guys, you can be whatever you want. You want to be a progressive, you want to be a liberal, you want to be a conservative, Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. We welcome everyone here. As you see Kai respond to your comment, everyone is welcome. Free speech is welcome here, obviously, and you are welcome to entertain a conversation and see. We're probably going to have liberals that I would like to sit down with. I live around liberals, so we're probably going to have an interview with liberals very soon and very shortly. So, that's just my argument, my take on the matter when it comes to elections. The questioning of the integrity of the elections somehow ramp up when Republicans win the White House, and they did it in 2001. And they did it again in 2016. Somehow, some way, the Democrats don't know how to take a loss. And some would argue, well, Donald Trump doesn't know how to take a loss. Well, if I felt like it was stolen from me, I think that battle was personal to him, near and dear. If you guys clearly see, they're clearly after him, invading his home, constantly hitting him with litigation. Now want to have him testify at the January 6th Unselect Committee. They're really after him. They're really after him. They want to put this man in jail. They want him to never be able to run again. They want him to say the words, "I will not run again for president." And once he says uncle, then they'll leave him alone. Everything will go away. I almost want him to test it. I almost want him to test the waters so people can finally see the truth. That this is not about you. This is not about what's good for the country. This is about what's good for those people who have power. Because if it was really about what's good for the country, then just listen to the man. Hear what he has to say. Let him reason through some of the mess and the words that he's decided to use. Let him reason through it instead of being clouded and diluted. Because I guarantee you, if we're all on board with the mission and the vision, the country will be in a far better place than it was in the last 20 years. But we have to find a way to come together in some aspects. We don't have to have the same belief system. But how do we work together? How do we cohabitate the space? Well, calling the man a racist is not going to get us there. Calling him a bigot or misogynistic or xenophobic is not going to get us there. It just continues to stifle the country. We are ideologically, we are physically stifled in this country. There's no real progression because everyone wants to strong arm the other. So what's the best way? We need to find trade-offs. What could work? What could we live without? What could we live with? And if the entire country has to live with Joe Biden for 4 years, then we can live with another 4 years with Donald Trump and see where he can take us. And if he can't take us wherever he can or wherever he wants to take us, guess what? It's only one term and he's out. And then you got enough time, Democrats, to really build up a rock star candidate, someone who can speak not just for one side of Americans, but for all. For all. Not a lot of people were happy with Ronald Reagan the first time around, but they loved him. They grew to love him. Not everybody loved Richard Nixon the first time around, but if you saw his second run for election, it was a landslide. The entire country was red. The second election for Ronald Reagan, the entire country was red. They voted red. So they may not like him initially, but they learned to grow to love him. Can we learn to grow to love someone that they told us to hate? That's the question I leave you with to think about this weekend. So we'll be right back here, Simply Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern Time with Mr. Full Service. That's the host of that show. We'll be back here on the Morning Fix Live radio show on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Remember, we're on Rumble, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we have an Instagram, we have a Facebook. You guys can check us out in all those platforms and tune in to all our previous episodes. I want to thank you all for joining. Have a great weekend.
Yeah.